welcome. We're live from the Holler Broadcasting Studio with some dear friends and colleagues on Monday, August 19th, and we're excited about an upcoming program on September 13th at the Sportsplex, which is a program we have done in the past for your students, and it's really special to us because our students don't know what they don't know, and it's an opportunity to expose them to those all-important job skills. So what we're going to be doing on September 13th is a little bit different from what we've done in the past, and we're joined by Vonda, Brian, and Liz, and we're just going to have a conversation about what you can expect to enjoy on September 13th. And this is an opportunity for us to give you a kind reminder so that you RSVP your numbers and bring your student participation forms per the state. So, my colleague from KVEC, Mrs. Vonda Adams, if you can talk a little bit about what you and Stephanie will be doing on September 13th in your educational sessions.
Sure. We have several things planned for the kids that day. We're going to work on managing money, and that could encompass budgeting, check writing, talking about savings versus checking accounts. We also just talk about just actually the action of writing a check could be involved with that, as well as budgeting. And then we're going to talk about careers, interviews, types of questions you may be asking in an interview, how to dress for an interview, which leads right into the etiquette skills. We want to talk about how you would greet someone and how you would shake someone's hand, and just the proper etiquette when you're out among colleagues. And then we're also planning on working with resume writing. If they were to want to write a resume to submit for a job, and talk about job applications and how to fill those out. And then also we have a session in mind for study skills. Skills that they may need if they want to further their education, or skills to just help them while they're in high school. And then we also plan to incorporate some math, of course, because we're the math gals. So we want to talk about how they can use manipulatives in their math classes. So that's kind of a synopsis of what we have planned for the day.
That sounds wonderful, and we're going to get some help in some of those areas from our colleagues, and they're going to share with us in a little more detail in just a moment. But take a couple minutes and just talk to our teachers who will be viewing this video vignette about your background and your expertise in some of the collaborative work that we have done together to serve our low incidence population in the region.
I am a general ed teacher. I have a background of working with special needs kids, of course. And I have been, this is my 32nd year in education.
That's amazing.
So I've been around for a while. So I've had lots of experiences and been blessed to be able to do lots of things and work with great people. In the past, we have worked with this population of students, and they're by far our favorite to work with. We get lots of joy working. Those are some of my favorite days. And we've offered many of the similar things we've had here that I mentioned earlier. We're going to be looking at, we have looked at budgeting in the past. We've also have looked at thinking about health care and self-advocacy, and talking about going to the doctor, what types of questions that you might have to ask, and what types of forms you might need to fill out, and those types of things. But it's always been lots of fun, but the kids get a lot out of it.
They do indeed. And this particular program on September 13th at the Sportsplex, the Knott County Sportsplex, is going to be a little more academically focused versus some of the collaborative programs that we've done in the past, which have had a little more fun surrounding the activities, working on those fine and gross motor skills, which are all important. But it's really important to us to appreciate and support and promote opportunities for our students, albeit those students who have some challenges that other students don't have. All you have to do is look at Dan Habib's latest film documentary on intelligent lives. We were just with him in Frankfort, Kentucky, a week ago for a private screening of this new documentary, and it features students, low incidence students, who have graduated from high school, who have gone on to acquire post-secondary education, certification, degrees, who are going into the workforce. So that's why it's really important for us to expose them to these all-important job skills. Managing money, interviewing, dressing properly for the workplace, etc., etc. So, and not that I'm giving a free commercial to Dan Habib, who also is the filmmaker of Including Samuel and Who Cares About Kelsey, but very powerful. His work is through the University of New Hampshire Institute on Disability. So if you have a chance, you can Google Dan Habib and find some free trailers, and to see that oftentimes I shouldn't say that we think, but there are those who think that perhaps some of these students that we serve will end up in adult living facilities and not have an opportunity to work, and nothing could be further from the truth. So that's why I'm really excited about this program, and the reason we're hosting it on September 13th versus December, even though we'll have a December version for those schools that can attend, is our teachers gave us the feedback that September was a good time for their schedule. So I should hush and move on to my distinguished friends and colleagues from LKLP, the Community Action Network. So if you can talk, Brian, a little bit about who you are, your expertise, your background, and then we'll move to Liz, and she can tease out a little bit more of what we're going to be doing.
Okay. Brian Fields. I work for LKLP, housed here at the Kentucky Career Center in Hazard. We work for the Workforce Investment and Opportunity Act, and what we do is we help link people to jobs.
There you go.
We also assist with skills upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
If they're in to get a certificate or higher education, we assist with that. We also are experts at job search and plan matchmaking, linking our job seekers to the jobs.
Mm-hmm. Now, LKLP, the acronym stands for
Leslie Knott Lecture in Perry County Community Action.
Yep, there you go. There you go. And you have been great partners with us. We've done some collaborative programming together, so foolish for us not to enjoy and capitalize on the expertise that you bring to the table, because this is what you do every day. So thank you so much, Brian.
Thank you for having us. It's always good to partner with you guys.
Yeah,
We
privilege.
look forward to working with you on this event in the future.
Yeah, wonderful. So Liz, you've got some.
I do pretty much the same thing that Brian does. I focus more with employers as far as trying to, as he said, we are kind of matchmakers. I feel like that's my job title. It's actually employer rep, but I work with the career advisors, and when the clients come in to see the career advisors, they kind of see what their skill sets are and their interest and their strengths. And as you discussed, a lot of these students, a lot of people have a misconception that they're not employable, and they are. And that's where our career advisors will come in, and they will dig deep within them and see what their strengths are, and then they let me know, hey, I've got this client and this is what they're really good at. Now they have some issues here, here, and here, so then that's my job to go find an employer that will be willing to work with those strengths and with those weaknesses. And then we'll discuss, with the client, things that they'll need to work on as far as interviews, getting them a really good resume, and then sometimes we'll bring them in and do mock interviews. And then a lot of your soft skills once you get the job, about just like taking initiative, being dependable, responsible, trustworthy. Those are all things that, your younger generation that you have to and staying off your cell phone. That's the big thing now. That's the big thing now. But, a lot of them just don't know just your basic soft skills of, what to wear to an interview. And how to speak when you're in an interview. So those are things that we can do with them every day here, and then we'll discuss all of that in sessions at your event, and we look forward to being able to have the time to do that and sit down with the students.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Liz, for partnering with us. And anybody have anything to add before we put a bow ribbon on our conversation? Again, September 13th, 2019, which is a Friday, Knott County Sportsplex. Teachers, thank you so much for all of your support and leadership. please RSVP your numbers. It's going to be pizza, Papa John's Pizza, for lunch, and we'll have soda pop and water. And the sessions will run concurrently from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. I'll be doing all the paperwork for your buses to make sure that your districts get reimbursed. And so look forward to seeing you there. And I'm going to send out this live broadcast in moments. So thank you so much. And we'll see you at the Knott County Sportsplex on September 13th. Holler if you need us.